Aquarius sound meditation, intellectual intuition. Make yourself comfortable. Place your feet on the ground and close your eyes. Just relax and be still. There is a door to open the intuition that comes from your innermost self. We may call it an intellectual intuition, which differs from an instinctual intuition. An instinctual intuition would be a sort of vague feeling. A person who is not yet aware and conscious of himself through such inner work would have a vague, dark feeling about things, about himself, about others, about perceptions in his surroundings. He may just blindly respond to these instinctual perceptions without knowing why and what he does, and that he reacts in a certain way and why he reacts in a certain way. When you are already trained in self-awareness, you begin to know yourself better, and the dark instinctual perception will become an instinctual intuition, which means that the dark instinctual perception is translated into concise meaning. When you give yourself permission to have the inner thought process thinking you, through you, suddenly a thought will appear about yourself to begin with, later on about other people, or your relationships, or situations, but to begin with about your own problem. At times, it may be true and genuine intellectual intuition from which you build the channel to the deepest wisdom of your innermost self. In order to give voice to this, a certain quality is required, and that is courage. In that courage must also be contained a letting go process, a committing yourself to the thought that springs up in you, the courage of committing yourself to a thought that springs up out of nowhere. In order to learn to trust this process, you have to be, number one, willing to allow it to happen and ask for it to happen, and listen to the thought that springs up. You have to make room for it. Number two, you have to have the willingness to accept that these intellectual intuitions are not at all times and immediately infallible. As you learn and grow to handle these intellectual intuitions, you will clear them more and more, and you will learn to trust them more and more. Number three, you will have a courage to let these intellectual intuitions happen. And you have to be willing to commit yourself in courage and to let go so that it happens. In this way, you will indeed encourage and help the process of self-realization that you work toward on this path. please visualize for another 5 minutes that you have the courage to trust your intellectual intuition, and then slowly come back. Thank you.